This is the summary of Daf Chaf Aleph. The Alter Rebbe talks about two levels of Makif and Panimi, Mamale and Soivev. And even within Soivev, there are levels of Soivev that are readying for there to be an expression into the Mamale, and a level of Soivev that is even further detached. And this is all about the perspective. Down here, we consider ourselves to be a yesh. And as we move up the spiritual ladder, closer and closer to infinity, we consider that to be ayin. In contrast, Hashem, from the perspective of Shemayim, that's the yesh. And what are we? We are ayin, insignificant. So these are the spectrum of how we go from the level of soivev, that is completely detached, into a level of soivev that starts to get ready to become a characteristic of mamali. This helps us understand the three statements of Kodesh. We have a Kodesh that's completely detached. We have a Kodesh that is still soivev, yet it's starting to become closer and readied towards becoming part of mamali. And then we have it even within the level of mamali into Moichin Stima. And this is the process about how we draw out this infinity. And the Alter Rebbe uses an mashal. It's like a house that surrounds me. It's not personal. I have clothing that's soive, but it's personalized. And I have mazon, which I ingest, food, which I ingest. And this helps us understand this process. And this is what it means. We pursue after it, but it's only the achar. We're only getting a glimpse. And we pursue it in hopes of coming closer and closer. And as we become closer, we run into the capacity to overcome, or we are empowered with the capacity to overcome tests. And this is a reference to a pasuk in the Parsha that says that I have tested you to know. What is the function of a test? That when there's a test, there's godliness, you just can't see it. And as we overcome and we withstand the test, we discover a level of godliness, because the godliness must be there. Like when Shimi curses David, it says, I had to. Hashem made it. Why? Because Hashem is giving him existence. So as we withstand the test, we discover levels of godliness that would otherwise be hidden. So now we understand Teilechu, that's the Ratzoi, that's the passion. Then it says the mitzvahs you should tishmeru, that's what keeps it within you, that we don't run away spiritually. And this helps us understand the idea, as we mentioned, that while the brightness of a mitzvah can be extinguished by an avera, not the mitzvah itself, but its brightness, if we reach to the level of Torah, we will be able to forestall. That can never be taken away, because Torah is one essential makif, unlike the 613 specific mitzvahs. And so tshuva is reawakening through the study of Torah that there will be brightness in our mitzvahs, but that brightness can only reside if there is a place for it to dwell, and that place is in the mitzvah actions, like the 248 limbs of the king, that if they are whole, there can't be any suckling off by the chitzenis.